recording.
Just like that.
It's a touchscreen.
I'll be darned. Technology, what would we do without it?
Oh, wouldn't it be wonderful?
When it works, it's great. When it don't,
Amazing though, when you forget your cell phone or something,
Oh, I know.
you think, what the hell am I, oh, God.
yeah, the whole world comes down there.
Yeah, it does.
There's no more phone books because everything's in your phone. Just
Everybody, years, what we did without a phone, never had a phone,
but it, we'll call meeting to order. Roll call.
Okay, Mayor Westergaard.
Yes.
Moeller.
Yes.
Reese.
Yeah.
Stanky.
Here,
And Dave may, Councilor Waltman may be coming.
Okay, consent agenda. Any additions? Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Moeller.
Yes.
Stanky.
Yes,
Reese.
Yes.
Okay, number 5 is just a motion to approve the easement we talked about at the last council meeting.
I'll do it, I'll make it.
Second.
yep, I'll second.
Roll call.
Reese.
Yes.
Stanky.
Yes,
Moeller.
Yes.
Okay, pay estimate number 5.
Yeah, this
We're just gonna hold
release,
some back.
yeah, this releases retainage on the big street project from this year. It's on page number 8. We're gonna propose to pay them $20,493. But they, Caliber Concrete is coming back to replace those cracked panels. In total, there's 11 cracked panels, but they would prefer to replace those in the spring. So we run it through the winter, see if we have any more cracking problems.
Sure.
So that they just come back, replace them in the spring. We are still withholding $16,332.
okay.
We have a motion to approve pay estimate number 5.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Moeller.
Yes.
Reese.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes,
Okay, this is to pay Caliber for that repair projects, the sidewalk.
Yep, so this pays 95% of total cost. We just have 5% retainage on that. Everything's done and really pretty pleased with the job. Looks pretty good.
what
It's
about,
about 38, I'm sorry,
go ahead,
38,000.
Yeah, 37.7 was the,
what happens if we get some cracks there, if there's something that pops up?
we
What's
still
our-
still have retainage.
Yeah.
We do not have a bond on the project though.
Okay,
Yeah, we still would have 5,000 though to redo if we had to.
For 31 days.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
oh, well,
I don't think they're pretty reputable. I think if something happened, they would fix it.
I think they would.
Yeah.
okay, I
Because
just,
they want to come back.
yep, just wanted to make sure that
We have a motion to make that payment.
I'll make it.
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Thank you.
Yes,
Moeller.
Yes.
Reese.
Yes.
Okay, we want to review shortly our accountant's report.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes, we do, but yes. So we had the accounting firm in here, it's Feldman Associates, and so they were here and did this thing they called the agreed upon procedures. Okay, so it's not an audit, it's not a financial audit, it's an audit of process.
okay,
Okay, but we do have them still go through our financial report, and then they go have a list of things prepared from the state auditor that they got to just run down and tick through everything on this list, and that's what they're doing then, is checking everything on the list, and then coming up with recommendations about that. So the recommendations start on page 8, and the first recommendation from any audit or any study that we've always had done here that deals with segregation of duties, and that she had last year proposed a couple of these same things. So in the recommendations about having elected officials participate in internal controls, and this is mainly, and we have had the mayor participate by checking bank statements. John checks all of the checks that, he initials all of the checks that come back through. And so that, you know, that they're at least looked at and that they still look fine, all of the proper signatures were there. And that, and then John does, we go through the reconciled bank statement then at the end, and John approves reconciled bank statements.
Typically, how many checks is there, would you say, in a period?
200 or 300 in a
Yeah,
month.
there's quite a few.
Okay,
It takes a little while.
yeah, no, I just was kinda, I didn't have no idea how many.
But then, just as you follow through her notes about these recommendations, and then you get to the bottom one where it says, auditor observed this procedure being done in the latter half of the fiscal year. Okay, well, of course, the year that was audited was from July through June, and when she was in auditing last year, of course, it was like October or whenever, so nothing was implemented until she was done last year. Okay, so that's, we get a lot of this, you'll see that several times, the same recommendation as last year, noting that it was implemented in the second half of the year. City investments, according to code, we do not have investments. You know, all of our money is just in the bank, and we have some money in a CD, but that's technically not defined as investments. So we have not had an investment policy. Even though we don't have investments, we still gotta have a policy. She has provided a model policy to work off of, and then I'll present that to the council at the next council meeting. Get a policy in place. Bank reconciliation, wanted to make sure that we included a full list of outstanding checks, not just the total. And again, that's something that we've been doing. It's another one of those where she observed the procedure being done in the latter half of the year, so that has been attended to. City unclaimed property deals with getting unclaimed property to either reissuing checks or getting property to the Great Iowa Treasure Hunt, which we have done. We've submitted all of our old stuff then to the Great Iowa Treasure Hunt, which really wasn't too much. We submitted $80 or something like that to the Great Iowa Treasure Hunt, and then reissued some old checks to some people who were still around here in Cassia. Item E talks about the city's depository resolution. We have two official depositories, Farmer State Bank and Iowa State Bank, with limit of $2 million of deposit at either one of them. Okay, we have exceeded that $2 million deposit from time to time this year. Okay, so, and her only recommendation then is we need to increase that limit, which, again, I'll get a resolution ready to go and we'll have it at the next council meeting. It'll probably say $3 million. And not just for operations necessarily, but primarily for this sewer lagoon project, where we will pay the contractor when we receive those loan monies, because a lot of the bills will be very large. We wouldn't be able to just pay them on our own. So we have to receive the loan money first before we could pay it. So there'll be days, a few days, when we would have high balance.
Okay.
Payroll tax deposits. Again, this was something that she had noted last year and refers to that same time as last year, that I was late filing payroll deposits because we get paid on Wednesday, and if I filed the 941 or the EFTPS return on Friday, the return was timely, but they didn't take the money till Monday, which was too late. So I got caught on that timing on a couple of different occasions, which we have since straightened out and doesn't happen anymore. Salary resolution and a check. She did find one check that was unsigned and went through the bank anyway.
Yeah.
That John had signed it, but I hadn't. And then one resolution in the resolution book wasn't signed either. So. Time cards. We always do have our department heads approve time cards. She had noted where the police chief had not approved some, and that can happen, you know, if Royce were gone. He would turn in the time
if
card.
Royce is gone, could John?
Jeremy.
Jeremy?
Oh, excuse me, because I had Jeremy on the brain, because Jeremy turned in time cards this morning and Jeremy signed them instead of Ross, which is fine.
That's fine, okay, as long as we got somebody, okay,
As the assistant chief, he signed.
all right.
You see those business transactions, they always list business transactions of anybody who, whether it's council members or employees, if they've done any business with the city. And everything is fine with that. Because either large projects were bid or we can do business up to $2,500 with council members and employees. Okay. Under state code. City council meeting notices, just that I always, of course, post agendas in a timely manner. She just wanted to make sure that I put a date stamp on them, or wrote the time when they were posted, and that I needed to keep a binder of those. So I now keep a binder of old agendas with the times that they were posted, and she's been pleased with that. Item K talks about the certified budget. And this was, they had actually identified a coding error within our financial software. So the financial software prepares a lot of these reports for you, but everything has to be coded right to start with, of course. And this one had one coding error, and then we got that fixed. And then she also noted where I had a revenue put in the wrong account, where we had local option sales tax receipt was put in as a road use tax receipt, so that has been fixed also.
Okay.
That is the findings of the agreed upon procedures.
That was pretty painless.
It really was pretty good, I was pretty pleased with it.
You have to have a motion to accept that
We
report?
can have a motion to accept the report.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second
Roll call.
Thank you.
Yes.
Reese?
it. Yes.
Mulder?
Yes.
Okay, our continuation of the urban revitalization plan.
Yeah, that's the question for you. Urban revitalization plan is tax abatement. Okay, if you hear about urban renewal, is TIP. Urban revitalization is tax abatement. We've had tax abatement here for 20 years, but we do need to occasionally review and amend our plan. And we've done that once. We had an original 10-year time period, and then we had amended that for another 10-year time period,
Right.
but which now has expired. And it expired on March of 2017. There's two parts, two components of being able to offer this tax abatement. You gotta have an urban renewal plan, which is expired. But you also have to have an urban renewal ordinance, which is not expired. So should you decide that you want to continue to offer tax abatement, it's just that we need to amend the plan. Okay? But I offer this to you just as the notion about offering tax abatement does reduce revenues that come in. And this will show you that the revenues are reduced over the course of this 5 years, the most recent 5 years. It's on the back, it's over $19,500. But the concept of having tax abatement is incentive for building,
Build it, yep.
you know.
So like down back there, the top one, like that 4724 is actually that per year?
Yeah, that was for the last year. So,
I was just wondering.
yeah, but also then, like the bottom line of that page, on the front page, see that it's also abating a bunch of taxes yet on Evapco. This would be the last year of tax abatement on the last Evapco expansion, where the amount of city taxes was $5,393. So that'll roll off of the abatement schedule next year, roll back onto taxable values. The thing about tax abatement, you know, you call it tax abatement, but what it really is value abatement. It abates value, just takes value off of the property. So there's no city taxes, there's no county taxes, there's no school taxes, because there is no value there. The value had been abated away. It takes away all of the taxes. So I guess wanted everybody to make sure that they understood the concept, and are you looking to continue to have a tax abatement?
I would say so.
Well, I think it helps draw
I do too.
people,
Yeah.
you know,
Yep.
and if that's, you know,
Might
to
not
build or whatever.
You know, might not have people even thinking about it, if there, is it something offered in an abatement?
Well, not that, but it creates an opportunity for them to do some update. How many cabins haven't got tore down and rebuilt?
Yes,
You know, I mean,
Quite a few.
that's helped our valuation. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we don't set the valuation, let's make that perfectly
Yeah,
clear.
the county does.
The
county
county
does
does.
So if we wanna do that, we'll have to have a motion for the city administrator to bring back to the council, extend the revitalization plan.
I'll make that motion.
Yeah, I'll second it.
Roll call.
Okay, Moller,
Yes,
Reese,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes,
Our health insurance is much better.
Yes, so
Than last year.
to look at the renewal, which starts on page, must be page 15. Wellmark's gonna tell us that our renewal is actually a slight decrease of about 0.5%.
Oh,
Okay, now, and no matter how you slice it, the renewal's good, but it's just a little fudge on their part because they incorporated a 3.4% ACA fee into both the renewal and the current fee.
yeah.
So, even though we have a little deduction in the premium, it actually went up 2.9%. You know, in total, it will go up 2.9%.
Not any bad. No, is it?
Oh, that's terrific,
Amazing.
compared to what's been the past couple of years,
So
you know, it
Obama
was.
must did something right.
I'm waiting for the mayor's response.
his arm hurts, he doesn't want to say
There's
it.
always that chance.
Catch him while I'm down.
This is where you get your shot, Terry, get at it, buddy.
No, I just get so tired. Every time something gets brought up, you know, everything's his fault, you know? It's this way because, you know, just, I get so sick.
So how many employees do we have on it then?
We have 12 employees, but we also have 2 retirees. You know, Jack and Lon are on there. And
They're
will be
both
for a
on
while,
there.
yeah.
How long can they stay on it?
Till they're Medicare eligible. It's just a weird, state law in regards to public employers.
But they would just pay the whole total premium.
They pay their total premium.
Yeah,
They pay the total premium, but of course, they're on the older end of the age spectrum, which affects our rates, you know.
Yeah.
But they're still eligible to do it, so.
yeah.
Okay, I didn't know how long that was. Okay.
So we can work on some sort of a union negotiation down the road.
Yeah, that's the impact here, I guess, is, what do you see as far as any impact with collective bargaining?
Just have to set up a date when,
We do have our first date set on that too, it's January 8th is bargaining day.
Sounds like a plan.
well, it's a start, you know, as long as we got Dave involved in it, I mean,
Yep.
if he's freed up, so,
Yep, he's planning on it.
okay. But all that is the initial swap, right?
We will, yeah, it'll be the formal public swap and keep bargaining down it.
Well, I don't know about,
We'll have their proposal a couple weeks later.
that's what I wanna,
Yes, yeah,
I wanna make sure we got that,
Yeah.
because I don't wanna rush this.
Because we got a couple of new people now too, and
we do,
we
yeah.
are gonna have two.
You gotta find that out for me, I still don't believe that's gotta be a full-time employee.
That's what I always
It's
thought.
not, not according to our original charter, and it's pretty black and white.
Did we?
No, the original charter is to determine to me what's the difference between management and, that's the way I look at it.
No, it had to do with eligible union members,
So they don't have to be full-time?
you know?
I don't,
I guess I wish I.
Yeah, and
known
I did
that when
consult
we-
with Dave
when
on
we
that.
went
He
with
pushed out
part-time
on
help,
that.
if that was the case.
What advantage do they see of joining the union?
I guess I don't understand that.
I don't either.
I don't
That's,
see it,
you
I
know.
don't see why any of them would say, whatever.
I'd like to talk to somebody about that.
And,
Yeah.
and, I mean, maybe it was there, but I guess I don't remember that being discussed when we were talking about.
I don't know,
hiring
that
part-time
first
See,
employees.
I looked at that list
It's
to
not-
determine who's part of the management team and who's part of the negotiations. They'll get negotiated for it. And I didn't think at any time that a part-time employee could be ever, it could be in the private sector, I know that when we were, you had to be a full-time employee, and I'd like to
See
get
why
a
we're
second
different.
opinion on that somewhere.
I,
I've never heard of
I
that.
can get a second opinion. but-
Get one.
I guess I
So
do,
right
like
now
I said, I
it's-
wish I would've, I guess, known that, I don't know if it would've made a difference
So
at the
it's
time.
what?
But know it when we were hiring the part-time employees, because to me, a part-time employee shouldn't be eligible for those things.
That's why they call it part-time.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So that's like an ordinance or a rule of the,
When the collective bargaining unit was established, there was a determination about eligible
Okay.
covered positions.
okay.
And, it said part-time.
So any of the park employees that aren't hired for the full year could be on the union if they wanted to.
It said something with regularly scheduled part-time people. So if they're seasonal, you could make that argument.
So the number of hours they get doesn't make any difference, if they're just part-time. So they're eligible because they're part-time. Doesn't matter about the hours or anything in that part-time. Category.
Nothing referred to hours at all, no.
See, we don't have the union up at school, but we have, like as a bus driver, I can have insurance, but I have to pay for it, you
Mhm.
know, so, I mean, I could do insurance, but not, we don't have a union up there as far as I know. I don't
Find that
know.
out.
Teachers union, I'll bet they got one, don't they?
I've never heard anything about it,
The
but
teachers have an association.
Yeah,
do they? Okay. I guess I've never.
they'll have to figure that out. Give a second. On that, what's our administrator report?
Well, just, can we approve the health insurance renewal?
Oh, you want that motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
Oh, roll call.
Why would we want to not?
We have to, but it has to, well, we don't have to. You either need to do it or you explore other options. But it would need to be done by the middle of December.
We're not gonna change.
No,
Are you still on there?
we just have to figure out the other part.
Yeah. Roll call.
It really,
Reese?
I mean, it's not that cheaper.
no,
Yes.
this, you, yeah, do this,
Thank you.
Yes.
Lola?
yes.
Now we'll do the administrative report.
Yes. 9th Street traffic concern. We had talked about this, right, Derek?
Yes.
You want to talk about that a little bit, about the concern?
Well, what's happening is we're coming down the like 175 up there. That's, on the north side of school there. The cars are coming, on the highway on 175. And like cars are no longer waiting for that stop sign out on the end down here by Shotton's, But anyway, and the bus is not, he's chose not to go out on the highway. And he's coming up the streets, here, and the cars are going this way, and he's coming this way against that traffic. There's like 2 lanes of traffic, one on each side of this one car that's on 175, seeing that's what it's not, it looks, and then I've already seen up on the stop sign on Jackson, where a car had to back up because this bus was coming through, he got too far. You know how you get too far ahead of the stop sign because you want to see?
Yeah.
Well, he's had to back up because of it, the person in the vehicle, well, it's like an accident waiting to happen. I tell you what, I just can't see that's, we've never done this, and I don't know why this got started. It's just started since this new street. I think it was because this old street was so bumpy that we never used it,
Yeah, that's part of it, I'm
you
sure.
know? But it's just not a good situation.
Is there a recommendation from DOT on that?
I don't know, cause it is a strange situation up there where you basically have,
Yeah,
you know, 9th Street, the new pavement of 9th Street, it's a two-way street up there on 9th Street, and then you got the highway that abuts it right next to it. Kind of a strange deal. The only thing that I'd tell you about the past maybe is that, especially when there was a grocery store up there at Once More, there was diagonal parking stalls on the north side. At least, you know, it gives every impression there that it's more of a parking area.
Rather than somewhere where they can just go both ways in it.
but you know, I never seen that on that street though, where cars are it's meeting on they're meeting them on the highway, and they're not, well, they're running 55 through there, you know, it's not a good situation, you know. And I talked to, Phil about this too, I talked to him about it, and I never talked to the driver about it because I told Phil that was his place to do that. And I'm like,
I say, if, it would seem like if there's a bus driver issue with turning on 9th Street, I mean, boy, we should just ask him to get out to the highway then, that would,
well, we have a new driver in that bus now, and it'd be a perfect time, and I'm gonna, I could talk to Phil tomorrow, or I can talk to him too. I don't wanna get involved in that because you know, they don't work for me. I'm just another driver.
yeah, and I
Of course,
guess I'd
they
heard about
think
this
you're the
in
jerk, you know, just.
in more than just bus driving too, though. Just that people would be on Madison Street and they'd come up to that stop sign and they'd turn on to 9th Street and head to the west on the new pavement, and then they get to a weird situation if somebody's there at the stop sign on Jackson Street.
But yet I've never seen both lanes of traffic, one going each way on that road.
Mm-hmm.
So that would make it 4 lanes, you know, if they did that. You know, that would be
Sure.
a worse mess.
Well, it'd certainly be worth him talking to that bus driver, see if we could get it nipped in the bud
Well,
right away.
and he would too, it's just that, he mentioned that, you know, we could put lines across there to cross it out, you know, that it isn't. I never knew you could do that. I've sat at that corner for years. I've never known we could use that for a street.
You know, I would certainly contend it's a street and you
Yeah.
can go both ways on that street. Now,
You know?
makes for a, and that's really, I guess, the discussion for the council. I mean, is there anything that comes to mind about ways that you can prove that?
Well,
Is it a one-way thing, or does it need to have some parking spaces, or does it need to have different pavement markings, or?
well, a good thing that like we come through Correctionville the other night, and that road's, you know, got 2 lanes going both ways, and it will have when it gets done. But they also got a cement barrier in the middle,
Yeah, to stop that.
so they can't come over that line, see, that's, you know, I don't know.
I'd say you gotta go up to, have the school kinda see what they can clean up first. Then we can make the recommendations.
Yeah, maybe you could talk to, well, the good guy to talk to would be John Kraft about that. He's kinda the ringleader on all that stuff, you know. Well, and then he would talk to Phil and Hand, you know, keep me out of, you know, I don't
Yeah.
need to be in it. You know, it is I'm just a bus driver, you know, a nobody.
That sounds like that's a call you need to make.
you're also on the council.
Dave,
Well, I know that, I know. I mean, I ain't afraid.
Yeah,
you know,
you're the only
say-
crowd.
they're at the donkey ball, aren't they?
Yeah,
I have trouble.
Oh, they have donkey ball going on?
Yeah.
Somebody else and then let them kind of
Yes.
go down.
Phil was,
There's some
I've
nice
talked to
asses
Phil
out there.
about it. And, I don't think he said anything to
What'd you do?
We only took one guy.
orthoscopic last Wednesday.
Oh, did it?
The guy that he took his place, he never did that. So I
We're
don't
trying
know
to
why he's.
speed this up.
Says, yeah, we made it through the
Never-
meeting, we're just going,
Oh, you're done?
We're doing the administrative report now, we're just
Oh,
till the end.
we were just,
Perfect
but we were
timing.
just talking about the traffic up there on 9th Street.
Uh,
Do you have any input on traffic up on 9th Street? Any?
yeah. I think it should be a one-way, whatever you do.
Yeah, that's what I think so. too.
Yeah. Is there a way we could put like a berm, out by the highway, have the shoulder of the highway and then put like a berm there so when people come,
DOT might not like that.
Well, I guess we'd consult with DOT on that, yeah.
Either that or just abandon it as a street was my other thought. Just have like parking there.
Parking lot.
Well, a lot of trucks do park there.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
night.
lot of trucks parked there, but overnight, but
Well, the only thing that scares me is the people coming down the highway, and if somebody gets nervous, and
Yeah.
hits that, that could be an awful deal.
We don't want that.
yeah, we've had a few little minor fender benders there where somebody would be coming west, and then the people that are going north don't realize that that's a street, because there's no stop sign there to go west
No.
on the stop sign, so they could go right through it. See what I'm saying?
Oh, going west.
In fact,
Yeah.
one got hit pretty hard there,
Yeah.
like last year. But it had
Yeah, that
nothing to
was-
do with the highway out there, but
Right.
like I told you, I was sitting there coming up over the viaduct one morning, and the bus was coming down there, and the guy started out from the stop sign, and then he started backing up, another car comes, that's kind of a mix-up anyway up there.
Because people come up to the stop sign, and they're going at a pretty good clip, they're not stopping before 9th Street, they're stopping after 9th Street for the stop
Right.
sign.
They get, it's kinda like on the main street here where you gotta get out way past the stuff, you gotta get out to the bump outs to see anything,
See, yeah.
cause the stop sign is way back.
And I've talked with Royce about this a little bit, and, there was no good, easy, quick answer, I don't know. Then we can talk to the DOT too and see if they,
But you know what, I hardly ever see that though, that people use it. We got a bus doing that, that's what brought this up, see. And, I haven't said anything to the driver, and I did talk to Phil though about it. And he said, well, we should just paint lines across and not have anybody on there, but,
Or paint lines, instead of a berm, paint lines or something.
and, there has been that, and it was more of a no parking designation than anything else. They used to have, basically a no parking, kind of an island, but it was on the north side there by Shadden's Cafe,
Yeah.
remember that? But maybe it's something that we could look at. But, we may just need to talk with the DNR first, or excuse me, DOT, and, get their feelings about that too.
and maybe make it, like you said, a one-way going to the east, but not to the west.
Or vice versa or something.
Well, let's see
Well,
what
I'd
DOT's got.
rather see it
Go to the
see, we always did pull out away from this.
Well, yeah,
Onto
for-
the highway.
but then, which street do you want it to interfere with?
I would rather see Jackson go to Madison than I would the other way. It'd be safer. That way you're same line of traffic going the same ways.
Yeah,
That's all, I don't.
See what DOT's got to say. What we can and cannot do. We wouldn't want to upset them.
You want it? Who put the gravel around the lake?
County,
County?
yep.
They got some more holes.
Yeah, it looked like it was a quick job. They came with
Well,
a truck.
from
and
where they
everything.
put that new cement going south now around the curve, there's some big potholes around the curve, so. And I don't live with the bus because there ain't no traffic in the morning, so I'm far enough away.
Shake, rattle, and roll, right?
Yeah,
The asphalt company was in town and got the asphalt, should be pretty much done today. Splash pad, our items are shipping on Thursday and they'll be here on Monday or Tuesday. Contractor is lined up for probably around Wednesday of next week. And talking with the company again today, and of course, everything's still weather dependent. and making sure that it is warm enough to do successful work, so. Couple things, a couple other things. One of the basketball goals down there are adjustable basketball goals that we bought with men's club a couple years ago. One of them is really broken, that you can't get the thing to go up and down.
Crank it.
And so we were gonna have King come weld that thing, but as we were talking more with the company about what it takes to fix these things, and they said, well, take some photos of what it is and what the problem is, and we emailed them some photos and stuff, and she responded back, nope, that'll be warranty work. We're gonna send you a new goal.
Oh,
Good.
cause I have that
that's-
piece, yeah,
That's the best.
I told you about that piece, or did I give it to you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, the handle. Yeah.
I have that, yeah.
Because, we tried to fix that handle, and it turned so damn tough, you couldn't do anything with it, so. Anyway,
Well,
it does have a major problem, and they're gonna replace it, so.
So what are you gonna do, put it so it goes up and down with the smartphone?
It only takes 7 cranks to go all the way up or down.
Then you're gonna have to get a smartphone right there.
I got one.
Oh,
I wouldn't use a basketball hoop anyway. The kids would like it better.
Wanted to talk with the council about a project down there at the Bike Arch. And Hometown Pride wanted to continue to work on this project, and we want to work through the school. So what I would like to do is, I'm going to meet with a couple of the teachers here more at the end of next week, but I'd like to be able to give them basically something like this, some parameters for what a project would be, so that they could have really broad latitude about redesigning Bike Arch and redesigning the garden area and the park area around it. But I need to make sure that the council would be on board before we pitch this to them about allowing them to do work there and some financial commitment. So you can see about the objective there about redesigning that trailhead to include the Bike Arch and then the surrounding landscape. Okay, then item number 1, redesign and remanufacture the Bike Arch. Okay, the Bike Arch may or may not include bicycles. You know, and these would be a bunch of questions yet for you if you have any opinion about that. That the arch may or may not include bicycles, but it needs to reflect the theme around bicycling or the trail or lake vehicle. Redesign and install new landscaping and hardscaping. Number 3 would allow them to add other features if they would want to do something different. Number 4 would say there's certain things that cannot be changed there, though, as far as the electronic sign and that information kiosk. Can't do anything to the trail itself or the crabapple trees or the sidewalk or the parking area there. And that they would, this would be a document I'd give to the school, as in, you can do the project, but you gotta stay within these parameters, and then they would need to consult with the plan, with the Lakeview Hometown Pride Committee, and then approval of the plan would need to come from the city council. And are we willing to commit some money to this? This would recommend or suggest a budget of $5,000 with design work occurring here over the winter months and actually having them do the work so that it could be completed by spring.
Somebody that might be really interested in that, or maybe be able to work with that school too. I know he's not involved with the school, but Mullen, I tell you what, he's terrific though, he is, I mean, he's got a lot of good ideas, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know, I mean, that's just a thought.
sure.
You know.
My initial contacts up there have been Eric McCullough,
Okay.
as far as some metalwork and some CAD design, and then the FFA with Larissa Ruffno
Yeah.
on doing any landscaping stuff.
And he works with, you know, and he works with a lot of them people up there with booster club and all that kind of stuff anyway, you know, I see people, you know, all the time going out there.
I think that's used so much, I think we could put some money towards it, I'm not against that. But what I would like to see, is just think about this, options with bikes and without bikes.
Two different options.
Two different options instead of
I do too.
just one, you know, that gives just,
Maybe contact the bike club and see if they have any input in it too.
yep.
Sure.
One great big bike, 25 foot wheel.
Well,
There's one sitting on that place on the way there.
Yeah, yeah, he wants too much for that.
So,
but that'd be a good idea,
One big bike would just drive underneath it.
right, and that could be built, you know.
Yeah. We can build that.
It wouldn't probably,
Still would
Not
like
quite.
to see something unique, I mean, I think that what we have is unique. And so whatever they do, I just hate to think that they're gonna take something that's so similar to some other area, when this
Right.
piece right now that we have is very unique, and that's what makes it so nice. You know,
but it's starting to look a
it
little
needs,
tight.
yes,
Oh, yeah.
I realize it needs to be updated and changed, but
some brand new truck bikes up there.
There you
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
Picture of Lance Armstrong.
Probably not. Not as popular as it used to be when I used to ride all the time.
Holding his pillbox.
So do you approve the money deal now?
Well, I just mainly wanna get a feeling for you, you know. I'd like to be able to pitch this to the school, you know, and know that when they come back with some designs that, you know, we'll be able to work with it.
two different designs would be good though, one without and one with.
Well, I was
bike.
gonna say that, you know, you might wanna tell them that we have some money, and that way you could budget it in January, you know.
Well-
When money is available, that we can
In-
help them if we,
Yeah, I mean, really, there's nothing budgeted for it. We would have money to do it,
right,
but nothing's budgeted.
no, but I mean.
And if we want the project done before spring, it would be in this current budget year, so.
Right, that's what I mean.
I'd like to see it done before, by spring,
Well, yeah.
if they can, but I
You
don't know
know,
if
you
they
gotta
can
remember
put
when you're
plans
dealing-
together fast enough for that.
That's first, the plan's gotta get there, then we can see where
When
we're
you're
at.
dealing with the school, you know, they only got, you know.
Small window.
Like
Yeah.
the shop, they might work on, one motor all year, you know, or, you know, just trying to, you know.
It all
Because
takes
they don't have a
time.
lot of
And they
time.
probably won't start this till the next semester, will they? The planning of,
Oh,
trying
I'm
to
sure
get
they
plans.
will.
Yeah.
There might be
Because they've
seniors that'll do
already,
it.
yeah,
Not seniors like me, but
I understood.
don't get us mixed up.
I understand.
I'm about ready to get my senior discount
Yeah.
whenever I go out.
We don't get rid
It ain't all that great.
I hear ya.
Okay, well, I thank you on that. Our library consultant is coming to town tomorrow to start working on the library space needs assessment. And Sac County League is this Thursday, Sac City hosted, it's up at the Cattle Company. Who's able to go on Thursday?
I'll go. What's
Yeah,
that?
I guess.
I'll be in Des Moines.
I'll go.
Who's talking or what? Maybe.
Iowa State Extension, about
Okay,
the different programs and stuff they do through Extension.
yeah, okay, well, that's fine, yeah, I got a granddaughter going there now, so I have to read more Iowa State.
That does affect you.
Yeah, I know. I told him I was gonna just wear regular clothes, because I got one in UNI, one in Wartburg, one in, Iowa State, and, maybe possibly next, you know, in Iowa next year, so.
The good news is that you're not paying for all of them, so that's.
Yeah, there you
That is the perfect
Is that
thing.
all you got?
That is it, yes.
I got,
Motion.
we went to the tourism thing in Sioux City again, and, some of the classes we went to, and they told us this last year, 85% of the tourists you get to town look at our website on your phones.
Oh, yeah.
So, we talked to Blue Space out of Denison, they want $7,500 to convert it. And they had a group up there, Brandy Ripley, she's gonna switch over to these outfit out of Des Moines, and they'll give us a whole new website for $5,000, but we gotta look at some parameters and they'll open up the back door so we can get in and get some stuff done on it, because Blue Space is dragging their feet. Anyway, we aren't close enough to bring it to
Can't
the
get on
council.
Facebook.
Well, we are on Facebook.
Yeah, yeah, but they want it so it's on their phones. You know. Anyway, I got a list of, everybody gets one of these. These are a list of the meetings that I know about in November. At the very bottom, there's one in, it's the Leadership Academy in Carroll. It's on economic development stuff. If anybody wants to go, we gotta register. They're $75, I think.
That's the first series
series.
for, yeah,
New and existing councilmen, it says.
you bet. So that's the Municipal Leadership Academy.
Yeah. And then there's the SRF sponsored project in Ankeny on the 15th, if anybody wants to go.
John gets to go to that one, because Kay will still be on vacation. Kay's on vacation now through next Wednesday. And Bill Lenners is also on vacation this week.
Motion to adjourn,
Yeah.
second,
No second.
meeting adjourned.
Should really put Dave in second, that way we know he was here.
I wrote there, Dave arrived 7:27. Nope, you get full pay.
Wow.
Dude, now everybody's ready to come a half hour later.
Yeah, right down that I left.
Well, Michelle would work a little faster, I would do.
Oh, come on, you could have lifted the list a little bit
See ya.
higher.
See ya.
Good night, guys.
Thanks for your help.
Thanks, dude.
No problem.
Where are they having that at, Carol?
I think Carrollton.
All right. In school, check out the assets.
We'll see how it works out.